Well, I'll be honest with you, this isn't a video that I ever really planned on making or having to make, but as most of you know by now that we lost Kyle Loftis, and he was a really big part of my life and a really good friend. And I've been trying to think for days what to say since I found out, but I'm going to kind of tell you my Kyle Loftis story and how he really impacted my life. It was beginning of 2013, I want to say probably February, March or something like that. I was over at my buddy Tim's house and he told me about 1320 video. I wasn't really into watching racing videos and stuff back then, or I mean the internet was still kind of, if you didn't know about it, it was kind of new. So as far as YouTube and stuff like that, and we were sitting on his couch. He's like, man, these guys do all these great videos, and they're having this, there's going to be an event in Kansas City and they're going to be there. It's called KC2K13 and we got to go. And I was like, okay, well, let's plan the trip and take the Jeep up there, because at the time, I mean, the people in my hometown knew the Jeep and that was about it. So we went out to KC2K, and the first 1320 shirt that I saw, well, the first two that I saw belonged to Chase and Kyle from 1320. And they came over and talked to me about the Jeep and stuff, and they really liked it. And I at the time, I owned a hookah lounge, so I had a hookah going on my fender of the Jeep, and I see this guy walking up with this big camera, and he goes, "So you got the hookah party going?"
Got the hookah party. Huh? Got the hookah party. Very nice.
Do it big.
It was Kyle, which actually ended up he enjoyed hookah as well. So we talked, we got to know each other, and he invited us out that evening to go find a little spot in Mexico and do a little racing. So we were out at this gas station out off of, I want to say I think it's Highway 50 or 100. 50, I think, that runs along Kansas City. But anyway, we're out there, and we knew a storm was coming, but we didn't care, and we were just having a good time. And we shot that first video of the Jeep that you guys saw on 1320, and did those races out there, and had a blast. Drove home. It was pouring rain. And at the end of that night, it was kind of daunting for me, because we were about to get on the highway. The sun's coming up and it's raining and I'm soaked. My buddy Tim's in the Jeep with me. He's soaked, and I pull up next to Kyle's Lexus and I'm like, "Hey, you want to get some Waffle House?" And he's like, "Hell yeah, let's get some Waffle House." So I kind of goosed it a little bit and it kicked sideways, and I pull up in front of him and we do a U-turn because we just passed it. And we pull into the Waffle House parking lot, and a cop pulls up behind us with his lights on, and he comes up and says, "Oh, you guys were street racing." And me and Kyle are like, if that was a street race, that was the most pathetic street race I've ever seen, And they ended up giving me and Kyle a ticket for street racing. And in that video, Kyle Stinson played the Cops theme song, Bad Boys. And you can just see Kyle sitting there like this in the driver's seat, because, I mean, yeah, I would have been annoyed too, and I was. And I get back to the hotel and I'm telling Tim, I'm like, "Oh my God, like I just met the owner of 1320 video and I got him a street racing ticket the first day I met him." So I was kind of weirded out by that, but I got his number and I texted him and told him I was sorry and stuff, and he said it was all good. And he had already called his lawyer. And anyway, fast forward a little bit, and he hits me up and invites me out to mini cash days up in Omaha, Nebraska. So I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to stay and all that, and he's like, "Oh, nonsense." He's like, "You'll stay at my house." So I get up there, and all the 1320 guys are there. I mean, it really is a family. I mean, I know they always talk about the 1320 family, but it really is. And I felt really honored to kind of be brought into the fold a little bit there. So we get up there, and you know, I'm staying at Kyle's house, and he had just got his ZR1 Spank Bank, and I said something, and we had to go run an errand or whatever, and he was like, I'll let you drive it. So I still won't forget, we left his house and went down the neighborhood, and we went, I think it was like Walgreens parking lot or something, and he goes into the far side of Walgreens parking lot, rips like 3 donuts in this car, and then hops out, and he's like, jump in. So I took off and had a little fun with it on the way back to Kyle's house, and it was pretty cool. And you know, he was more, I think he was more excited about the brakes on that car than he was the acceleration. He's like, oh, you got to try the brakes, it's just as exciting as the acceleration. I still remember him saying that. So we get back to Kyle's house, and I guess later that night, the whole 1320 crew, there was like a car meet. I want to say it was at Sonic. I can't remember. It was a car meet there that they did every week in Omaha. And we went to that. It was a lot of fun, and everybody loved the Jeep. And Kyle was like, oh, come out. So we went out to this other meet, and I don't know if I can find the video clip or if I can save it or whatever, but I remember Kyle was sitting in my passenger seat, and we were blasting Journey, Don't Stop Believing.
It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers, when it's
I remember Chase was in the video, and Kyle Stenson, and a bunch of the others, and everybody's just singing at the top of their lungs and having a great time. But it was just a really strong memory I have of that first encounter with the 1320 family. Then we decided to shoot the video that most people mention when they mention the Jeep, and that was me racing his ZR1. And we went out that night on some bridge out in Omaha. I want to say it was in Omaha because it's kind of close to state lines or whatnot, but we went out, and I raced Chase's Porsche first. And
1, 2, 3.
and you know, I got out of the hole on Kyle's ZR1, but I wasn't spraying. And you know, we did a couple pulls, and then the next day we put the Jeep on spray, and we went out, and he was like, oh, I'm so excited to do this video. And he was really genuinely excited about it. And I mean, if you watch the video, and I'll throw in some clips here, but you'll hear him just laugh constantly, and that was Kyle. I mean, he was always down to have a good time and always down to do something wild and crazy.
That was sweet.
Why is there excuses?
Well, he's gonna spank me.
Including riding in my Jeep a couple times, which if you asked him, he would have told you it was crazy.
Don't kill me.
I won't.
So people center themselves on the seat, or like?
Yeah, you just kind of hold on.
Okay.
It's a little windy.
A little bit.
How the fuck do you drive down the highway like this? Is that a cop? Nah, we're good.
I can let you feel a little nitrous on the way back.
Okay, let's try it. Just be careful.
Ready?
Yep. Yeah, I saw the front end come up.
Yeah, it just likes to float.
You said it wouldn't be sketchy.
It wasn't.
Okay.
I don't consider that sketchy. The track today was sketchy.
Yeah, I bet. That was sketchy. That was a blast. I think you went over the speed limit though.
Yeah, 35.
I
You can't stop laughing. I sprayed it.
can't stop.
Yeah. I can't stop smiling.
A little three-wheel. Is it fun?
Yeah. Dude, he said it wouldn't be sketchy though.
I told him I don't consider that sketchy.
I'm like, well, most people are probably like this in the seat, holding on. They're like, all right, let's go. I'm like,
On a scale of 1 to 10, how scared were you? 10 being the most scared.
well, it was fine down low. Then you get going like 80 or so. Like, all right, let's put the front wheel back down.
But anyway, you know, we shot that video and it was a lot of fun, and then we did mini cash days, and you know, I really got to know the other cars that were, you know, on 1320's radar. And you know, my buddy Tim had been watching them for a while, so you know, even when we were at KC2K13, he was like, oh my god, that's Beater Bomb and that's Freight Train, and you know I got to meet these guys and hang out with them and stuff, and it was just really cool. So, and fair warning, I know this video will probably be all over the place. I'm trying to go in order, but anyway, you know, back then, you know, all the 1320 guys were there. You know, Chase, Garrett, Cletus. You know, it was just really neat. And so we went out and did cash days, and I think that was the year that I did my reverse nitrous launch. And Kyle gave me shit about that for a while. It was a good time, but no, so after cash days, you know, we're coming back, and I remember sitting in Kyle's living room, and Joey was there, and you know, we're watching all the video clips on the TV and stuff like that.
She's never gonna beat me. You can put 5 kids on there, we ain't even gonna help.
And you know, that's where the friendly rivalry between me and Joey came about. And no, I never did beat Joey, but and he's way faster now than he ever was back then. But it was just a really neat to be a part of that. Okay, so after that, I think it was like the next year or whatnot, we did or they put on a streetcar takeover in St. Louis. Or it was either streetcar takeover, it might not have been streetcar takeover yet, it might have been another event, but there was a racing event in St. Louis, and it was hosted at Twin Peaks, so I'm gonna guess it was streetcar takeover. But I was at our little Sonic meet in Chesterfield Valley, and I get a text from Kyle Loftis saying, hey, we're headed into town. Is there anything going on tonight? I said, well, I'm at a Sonic meet right now, and I sent him a couple pictures. There was normally a pretty good turnout there. And so Kyle, Garrett, and a bunch of the other 1320 film guys showed up, and everybody there at Sonic thought it was wild that 1320 was coming, because I texted them, and it was just really cool. Everybody was excited. And as soon as we get there, Kyle's like, hey, let's do a video of the Jeep, and I'm like, okay. So I backed the Jeep out of the Sonic parking spot, and Garrett comes over, Cletus, and says that he wants to drive the Jeep, and I'm like, oh Lord. So we did that whole video, and then Kyle does a little interview with him afterwards, but you can hear him laughing the whole time, and it's just a really good time.
Oh yeah, it's finally happening.
I don't like it over here.
Once you get in, it's like, it like stands up, and it just, it all gets up behind it, and it digs in, you can just feel it. But it's weird because the wheel is so big, you really gotta like let it eat a little bit, and then it kind of just digs in and feels like it's about to take off like an airplane.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Throughout the years, I mean, I went up to cash days multiple times, ice cream cruise, always stayed at Kyle's house, and you know, literally, you know, just a part of the family. And when I think back on all of it, it's kind of weird to realize the entire trajectory of my life from the day I met Kyle Loftis was changed, and it ended up to where I am now. You know, a lot of people are influential in your life, and you know, but not very many people make a lasting memory or a lasting change to someone's life, and Kyle did for me, along with a lot of other people. He he used to literally say all the time, and it was kind of an ongoing joke. He'd say, "I'll make you famous," you know, and he'd say that to people when he'd do videos of their cars and stuff. And you know, and a lot of us he really did. You know, Beaterbomb, Cletus. I mean, hell, the whole Street Outlaws. I mean, that show wouldn't even exist if it wasn't for Kyle, and the stuff that he brought into the mainstream that was considered taboo or illegal. So it's really wild to think, you know, if I really break it down, you know, I wouldn't have met the mother of my kids. You know, we're no longer together, but I have two wonderful children that I wouldn't have met had it not been for being at a race event to go hang out with 1320 and to go mess around on the street and stuff like that, you know. I wouldn't be living in Ohio. I wouldn't, this Jeep right here, the sponsors that I have, everything from the day I met Kyle has been from that branch, you know. I mean, that branch group started that day, and it's just been growing ever since, and it's really, really amazing to think back on. But you know, I found out about Kyle's passing while I was literally loading up to head to Kansas City. And the ironic thing about that is I met Kyle at KC2K13 13 years ago to the week that I found out about his passing, and I was sitting in KC trying to process all of it. And I'm just at a loss for words, really. I'm so thankful that I was able to call him a friend for all those years, and that we were able to catch up to PRI and spend some time together. And you know, I was looking forward to doing another video with him and the new Jeep. But I know 1320 will endure this, and they will come through on the other side, because they literally are a family. And if you know anything about really strong families, they don't let they don't let the family fail, you know. And I'm really, really excited, I guess I should say, to see what they do next, because 1320 is an amazing team, family. They really are. And I want to extend my deepest condolences to the entire, you know, 1320 family, to Matt, to everyone that Kyle touched during his time on this earth. He was a really good dude. But thanks for watching my little video, and I hope all of you remember Kyle as fondly as I do. And don't forget, smile like Kyle, guys. Thanks.